Hello everyone, Miss Brooke is back this week with a new lesson about nutrition. So before we get started, let's briefly go over a few classroom rules. Remember to always be polite and respectful, and if you have a question or want to answer one of my questions, please raise your hand. So this week we're going to talk about nutrition, but remember last week we talked about cavities and how they're formed. We discussed how cavity bugs eat the sugar that's stuck to our teeth, which then causes acid, and the acid eats away at our tooth. This week, we're going to talk about how cavities are related to nutrition and how making good or bad choices can either prevent or cause cavities. So to get things started, let's talk about a few of your favorite foods and drinks. So what are a few of your favorite things? Some of my favorite things are ice cream, pasta, cheese, coffee. So we're gonna find out if those things that you really enjoy are good or bad choices and if they cause cavities. So behind me you see a blank triangle. This triangle represents the food pyramid. Throughout the lesson, we are gonna fill up the food pyramid with all sorts of different foods and drinks that represent good and bad choices. So I'm going to hand out this worksheet called Food Pyramid for Kids. Each of you are going to get one, and it goes over the 6 food groups and some examples that are in each group. So really quickly, let's talk about the 6 groups. On the bottom, we have grains. Grains take up the majority of what we should eat throughout the day. Next, we have vegetables and fruit. Above that, we have dairy on one side and then meat and fish on the other. And at the very top of the food pyramid, you see sweets, oils, fats, all of that stuff that is bad for us and that shouldn't be eaten as frequently. So remember, the bottom is what we should eat more frequently. And as we work our way up, these are the things that we should eat less frequently. So remember I said that sugar sticks to your teeth, which then causes cavity bugs to eat the sugar and then turns into a cavity. So we're going to find out what foods stick to your teeth, which then can cause a cavity. Let's go over a few foods. Let's start with ice cream, one of my favorite things. We're going to see if this ice cream sticks to my tooth. If the tooth and the ice cream stick together, then we know that ice cream can potentially cause cavities. Ice cream does stick to the tooth, which means it can cause cavities. Ice cream should be eaten less frequently, which means it goes on the top of the food pyramid. So let's go ahead and put him at the top. Next example is a banana. Do you think that bananas are good for your teeth? Let's see if they stick to this tooth. Bananas do not stick to your teeth, which means bananas are a healthy choice, and bananas belong in the fruit section of the food pyramid. Next, I have a donut. I love donuts. So donuts do contain lots of sugar, which means they stick to our teeth and can potentially cause cavities. So donuts, just like ice cream, go at the top of the food pyramid, which means they should be eaten less frequently. Next, I have a carrot. Are carrots good for your teeth or bad for your teeth? Do they stick? Carrots do not stick to your teeth, which is great, and they belong in the vegetable section of your food pyramid. Okay, what about cola, soda? Soda contains loads of sugar. It is so bad for your teeth because all that sugar sticks, which means soda should be drank less frequently. Putting it at the top of the food pyramid, just like ice cream and donuts. What about strawberries? Do you think strawberries are good for your teeth? They are. Strawberries do not stick to your tooth, which means that they are healthy. Strawberries belong in the fruit section of your food pyramid, just like bananas. Last here, I have lollipops. A lot of you said you really like lollipops. So let's see if they stick to your tooth. They do. So that means lollipops should not be eaten very frequently, and they belong at the top of your food pyramid. So let's go ahead and fill in some of these blank sections of the food pyramid. How about rice? Based off of the worksheet that I hand out, where do you think rice belongs on the food pyramid? Rice belongs at the bottom with grains. Some other examples of grains include bread and pasta, one of my favorite things. How about dairy? What are some examples of dairy? Milk is a really good example of a dairy. Cheese is another good example. And so is yogurt. All great examples of dairy. So the last thing we have on the food pyramid to fill in is the meat and fish section. And some examples of meat and fish include chicken and tuna, which is a fish. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a good zoom of all of the things that we put in our food pyramid here. Remember, the things that are at the bottom of the food pyramid down here can be eaten more frequently, and as you work your way up, these should be eaten less frequently. So remember, all of those foods that you saw stick to that tooth can cause cavities. These are unhealthy choices. Do any of you remember some of those things that were at the top of the food pyramid that were bad for your teeth? Ice cream, lollipops, basically any kind of candy. Yep, those are all really good examples. And things that are good are fruits and vegetables, whole grains, milk. Those are all good things. They're healthy choices that can help prevent you from getting cavities, and they can help you have a healthy body overall. Does anyone have any questions about the food pyramid? What foods are good for you? What foods are bad for you? Okay, well, you guys did great today. Thank you so much, and I will see you for the next lesson.